Hello and welcome back to part 2 of Revit. So we are actually going to open our project 1 and then proceed with the slab detailing. So on opening Revit, depending on your PC, it might actually take some time. But well, before I continue with this video, I would like to recommend a site where you can, okay, you just have to go straight to Autodesk Learn on Demand Revit Course Prep. And then you browse through everything and then go through all the courses. And then when you're done, you can then, well, be ready to take the exam. Disclaimer, I don't work for Autodesk. I am not sponsored in any way by Autodesk. So back to my video. Okay, so well, for the purposes of learning, some people were saying, what if we align our columns to, what if we put our columns in line with the beam so that our columns don't protrude to the structure? So this is what we're going to just do. There's a shortcut, or you can just go straight to, it's not annotate. I'm used to the shortcuts, align, AL, but AL, and then you click there, then you click there. That means now your column gets to align. You also click there, you click there. If you want to do it in some other way, you can then click on the column and then go there. That's the align. And then you click there, you then click there. You do the same, you click there, and so on. But I'm not going to continue with all of this because my main objective is to show you how I detail my slabs and how I make them unique. Okay, say we had designed the slab and then say we have a common, say it's a residential, then we have one of those common slab details. Okay, say from the design we have, let's say we have Y12 at 200. Say this is what we have from whatever design that we, whatever computational calculations that we went through, and then the design gave us this in accordance to our loads, which we won't be talking about here. I'll post a separate video about it someday. But for now, what we have to do is concentrate on the slab detailing. So this is what it is like. When you design your slabs, you use Ly over Lx, which is the shorter versus the longer spans, and so on and so on. That's too much theory. But say we had designed all of that, and then now we want to just detail all that. I recommend first putting up a section. Okay, oops, I want it this way. Okay, I want to start with over here. As you can see, this is our shorter span, this is our longer span, and so on. If you don't want this line, you can just click over there and then pull it there and there. And then when you click the section arrow, this is the arrow. This is the region which you'll be zooming. So I'll just go straight to my section. I'll go to view. I normally like data hidden detail, and then we put it fine there, and then say 1 to 50. Okay, 1 into 25, something like that. Right, since we have steel beams here, there's something really important to consider. When you have steel beams, it's not usually like this because you have some shear studs that are over here. So those shear studs are the ones that get into the concrete, and it's usually the top of this slab. The slab will be somewhere over here, and then okay, so I'll just use a quick align command to just fix it all up. So align, I click there, I also click there. Oops. Okay, let me try it again. Align there, then I click there. Voila, we're done. But now we want to put in some rebar here. So there are many ways in which you can actually put some rebar. You can just go straight to rebar, and then, well, this is what I have. I haven't loaded up anything. So you can then place in a single rebar. But now what we're doing, we need to fix the number with spacing. So here our maximum spacing is 200, as you can see. Sorry, let's go with maximum spacing is 200. So as you can see now, this makes sense. This is 56. Okay, let me open. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. And then it's at the bottom. But now, depending on the size of rebar that we're using, if it's a 12-meter rebar, say we want to do it this way, when we have our cutting length is 12 meters, we can then see that also this is also part of B. So yeah, well, this is part of B1. This is where you get your B1, the LX direction. So well, I can just choose to just go with a 12-meter bar that goes through and through. But now to make it very easy, this is what I'll do. Click on these knobs and then just go with shape code 55. Okay. Oops. Okay, well, this is not this should be BS8 8666, but I don't know which version it's using. I'm sorry, I just picked it up. I just picked it at random. Okay, so let me just rotate this so that it works. Perfect. Push it up. Okay. Say we have our spans like this. I'll just make a quick calculation. 8.4, sorry, 4.3 by 0.3. It actually has to be 1 point. So about 2 meters height here. Not this, all this you have to check if it's in accordance with your code. That's all. But my actual is 1.29. I can just use my 1.5 here. Do the same here. But well, since it's just for demonstration purposes, this is what I'll just do. And then now I personally go to comments and then click on this, and then I call it B1. I save. So whenever I detail, you see that we have a comment written B1 coming through. Okay. spicy stuff, this is what we then do. If you cannot see your rebar like this, you then go to view states, you enable it over here, and then voila, you have your rebar. And then now for our presentation, this is what we want. You just click over here, select none, select one rebar, and then you are done. This is what we have. This looks nice. But now, some people, they may not feel okay with it like this. You can then click on bending detail, and then you show it as it is, like this. But as for the annotations, well, on the bending detail, you can just click there. Oops. You can then click there, and then bending details, or you can just easily edit the type. No length dimensions, no angular dimensions. You see, like that. And then you have your tag as it is. Fine, voila. Let's do the same for B2. With B2, some may prefer having a different approach whereby you have a section like this. It's going through so that you can perfectly see your rebar. Those sections, you can even remove them later if you don't want to use them. Okay, let me just use 1 to 25 here. Okay. The reason why I'm saying 2 sets of rebar is that I had moved all my view range to over here. I can just put it over here, and then now I have one set of a bottom rebar. This is B1. And then I can even go to structure rebar.